I'm rolling in the I get that in I get that in
Hello and welcome to the Super Bowl edition of Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets. I am your host, Nick Fiorentino, and alongside me, as always, are my two other hosts, because they get offended when I call them co-hosts. First and foremost, big time Tim Sikora. Tim, how we doing?
Nicky, man, how's it going? How's it going? Real quick, for our friends on Twitch, if you're watching us live, please leave a comment, give us a follow. You'll be entered into the $25 big time challenge. At the end of the show, we'll spin the wheel, make a deal, and hopefully one of you guys hits a bet, or one of you girls. Thank you, ladies, for also watching. Also, Nick, we're going to do a DK pool later today, and during the show, we're going to give you guys a code on our social networks, and we would like you guys to also enter, or girls, you can enter too. We'll go through the whole rules once we get to that portion of the show. But if you guys come in first place in our little personal group that we made, you will also get a $25 bet for that. So we got some good things in the works.
Absolutely, some big things, and we'll go over the DraftKings pool a little bit later, including when we have time in between guests or maybe after Malusis. We will talk about every single one of the props. We won't break them down. That's for you guys to do. I certainly don't want you to know who I'm picking, but it's free for everybody. And the winner of the first ever Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets pool on DraftKings, which is 100% free, will win a True Exact Radio hat and shirt. So it should be some fun stuff. So as always, guys, before I do all of this, I never introduced Sir himself. Sir, how we doing? Rocking the hat that you could win?
You know what I'm saying? Hey, you could win one of these nice, bad boys. Man, I'm doing all right. It's Super Bowl week. A little sad that season's almost over, but hey, there's always basketball, baseball, hockey, golf, NASCAR. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of sports to bet on. So,
and one year from today, the XFL. So
one can only hope.
Yeah.
Well, The Rock says
Real
it
quick,
will be coming.
I have to remove my dog from the room, or else you're going to hear squeaky toy the whole time.
That's okay. I'll run through the rest of the intro. So, guys, you can follow us at SBFS Show on Twitch and Twitter. You can also follow us on there on Instagram. We have a website now. True Exact Radio does have a website, so it is TRUEXACTRadio.com. You can find all of our shows archived on there. You can also find new shows that are dropping on there. We will have a website shop pretty soon, not yet, but TBD. Should be some fun stuff. On the True Exact show that's dropping on Friday, you got San Jose Sharks announcer Randy Hahn. He's talking everything Wayne Gretzky to the San Jose Sharks logo and how that came to be. And without further ado, we have on Mark's side of the ring, we have the Royal Rumble fallout. So talking Edge winning, what we think he'll be doing, Bianca Belair winning, seeing what she could do. Sal Licata is on the line. So we will be connecting to him and starting it off. Joining us right now with a background that trumps all of us by far. You could find him on SNY, WFAN. He's part of the New York Post Knicks podcast, and you can follow him on Twitter at Sal_Licata on Twitter. Sal, how we doing, buddy?
Good. What's up, guys? How are you?
Doing good. I'm Nick. We got Tim, big time Tim, and we got Chris Sershaw, the 49ers fan that's very sad that his team's not in.
Niners. Oh, man.
Hey, take it easy. Put some respect on the Niners' name.
I grew up hating the Niners because I'm a Falcons fan. So when they used to be in the West, the Niners obviously used to dominate all the time. So that's why I hated the Niners. But I don't hate them anymore. Yeah.
We're all over the place because I'm Eagles, Tim is Jets, Sir's obviously the Niners, and now we have the Falcons. So
right, yeah.
Fun stuff. So first and foremost, thank you so much for jumping on. We really appreciate it. I guess the first question I have is, how has the betting season this year treated you? I know you're a big bettor just from following you on Twitter and everything. How's the season? How did the NFL season treat you?
Well, truth be told, I was a big bettor. Not that I don't bet because I still do, but I tried to get away from it. It's just for me, I have an issue with moderation, right? So that's with anything I do, whether it's eating or whatever. If I'm eating completely healthy, I go all the way healthy. When I'm not, I'm binge eating. And with gambling, it's similar. I have an issue with, I can't bet $25 on a game. It just doesn't do much for me. So I got myself in a little bit of a just not horrible trouble, but just to a point where I couldn't deal with it anymore. It was making me angry and I was frustrated with losing. So I tried to tone it back a little bit this year, and I did a lot of pick-em pools, which was fun. I ended up winning one that I was in for the year, but eventually, I do love to do it, and I love watching sports and sometimes having fun betting on it. So I tried to limit myself the best that I could. And I started one again, started playing again a little bit through the postseason. I was okay. I would say usually what would happen with me is I would lose Saturday for whatever reason and get it all back Sunday. Lose Saturday, get it all back Sunday. But been up and down like most. The more you play, the more you're probably going to lose. So that's it. But it always is fun betting. At least football. Basketball and baseball are another story.
Absolutely. So we're going into the big game for sure. Take me through past Super Bowls. I mean, do you have any traditions, any bets that you always make when it comes to the Super Bowl? Are you a Super Bowl square guy, props? What do you like?
I usually do. I would always bet the coin toss. I might do that just for tradition. It's fun. Get the night started out right. There's so many fun different bets. This year, I think I'm actually going to do which I also started getting into this year because I wanted to limit the actual gambling on games. I might do, a daily fantasy lineup with just the two games. I like doing that on, let's say, a Sunday night or a Monday night football game, or a Thursday night keeps you into it, standalone game. So I might do that. Historically, though, I do the boxes, but I don't love them. These people that do these boxes for $250, and I get it. I'm all for, put in a lot so you could have the higher payout, right? That's why I love betting parlays when I do it. Oh yeah, sure. I'll put $50 in and hope to win 500 or whatever. So I'm all for that, but it is complete luck. There is zero skill involved. There's zero knowledge. There's nothing that goes into it other than picking a square. So it's fun. My mom will get into it or whatever. So it's fun to do with the family while you're having people over. Who's got what? 0-3. So I like the boxes just as fun. But as far as gambling goes, no, I'd rather straight bet. That's what I did last year. A big bet with sorry against your Niners there, sir, but I won with the Chiefs.
Damn, come on, fam.
Look, I ended up winning, so you can't blame me that much, but I had to go with the Chiefs to help bail me out after a rough year in postseason. But yeah, I'll probably bet the game straight, pick a prop here or there, and have some fun with it. I don't know which ones yet, but there are so many.
How much money are you going to bet on Kansas City again?
Well, right now I've limited myself to my max bet is 100. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. Honestly, and I haven't given it much thought yet as we get closer. Usually I'm a guy who, even if you give picks, right? Like let's say I do a weekly show every Saturday morning. I don't give picks because the picks that I would give on if it were a Friday or Saturday morning may be different than how I feel in the moment on Sunday. So I could tell you right now, I think, it's tough to pick against the Chiefs or whatever. The Bucs are hot, whichever reason you want to come up with. I may feel completely different come Sunday. So I don't know which way I'm going to go yet. And honestly, with this game for 2 weeks now, I haven't really had a definitive feel. I thought I had a future on the Packers before the playoffs to win the Super Bowl. I thought for sure this was their year. Rodgers was going to win. I thought the Bucs would beat the Saints. I thought for sure, though, the Packers were going to win this game at home against Tampa Bay and then eventually win the Super Bowl. So I lost that. I'm done. I thought somebody would knock Kansas City off in the AFC. I thought I had the Ravens, so I lost that. So now you have a matchup of two teams who I didn't really expect to see there. If I had to pick one, I'd probably bet the Chiefs right now. And I don't like the Bucs, so I wouldn't want to pick them anyway. Nothing against Brady. I just don't like the Bucs. But the point is, I'm torn on this game. You can make good cases for either team. So even if I could or wanted to bet more than 100, I probably wouldn't because I don't love one thing or another, at least at the moment.
All right, more important question. What do you bet on the coin toss, heads or tails?
I'm always a heads guy. I feel like too many people do the tails never fails thing. So I always go heads.
Well, that's it.
Tails never fails.
No. That's why I go heads. I like going opposite. I'd like to. You guys have a record of that? What it was historically? What it's been?
I actually do. In the last 6 Super Bowls, tails is 5-1.
Wow. Yeah, there you go. Well, look.
But then so heads is due.
Don't you think?
Yeah. I'm one of those guys. Now I used to do this when I would go to the roulette tables, right? I'd walk up to the table and you see like 5 straight on red. I'm like, well, the next one has to be black. And then you sit there and keep betting. And yeah, right. Instead, I've learned over the years, don't go against the streak, go with the streak. So you may say, well, they're due, heads is due. No, usually it's the other way. Just this is all pure luck, obviously, but I've learned to go against my normal thinking, that you stay with the streak as opposed to against it.
So heads is Sal and tails is sharp bets and fantasy sets. So all right. You got someone to hate, whether it's us.
Why are we all in agreement? What if I want tails? Or what if I want heads? I mean, what if I want heads and Sal?
When
I
tails
think
hit,
I'm
you can
going
thank your
heads.
boy, sir. All right.
Isn't this great? It's a great way to get the day started. Now, do you guys do squares? I mean, what are you doing? You're doing all sorts of prop bets, squares, heads and tails. You do everything?
Yeah,
Tim,
for one way or another, yeah, we do squares for just about every single one of our friends. We'll you know, whether the lottery ticket's a $5 square or a $20 square, or me and Nick split a $100 square. I hope we're allowed to do that, Nick. My bad. But
yep, we are.
either way, we're in on the game. Prop bets, the whole nine.
Now, don't you find, though, I've found this in my years of gambling, sometimes it could be too much, right? I'll give you an example, just a football Sunday. Okay, well, I have, let's say, 2 or 3 fantasy teams, and I've even dialed that back. Then you have 2 pick'em pools, and then you're doing your parlays and your teasers and your straight bets. It's not, I mean, I'm exhausted by 4 o'clock, and the Super Bowl you could throw in there as well. You know, I want to limit it instead of going nuts where, oh yeah, I'm going to put $20 on this guy to go over 100 yards, or $20 on the coin, whatever it may be, how much you're going to put down, the coin toss, the anthem, the prop bets, the touchdowns first, the quarters, the halves, the over under, the game. Don't you, like, at some point, isn't it too much? And maybe just better to kind of zone in on 1 or 2 or 3 things as opposed to just 50 different things going on at once?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Until the 1 or 2 things that you bet don't win. And then you're like, why didn't I bet everything? Why did I could have bet, as long as I bet, well, it doesn't matter how much you bet, as long as you win more than you lose.
Right.
You're talking to the wrong person. I had 9 fantasy teams.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm up there too. I do so many fantasy teams. It becomes a business. It does. It takes away. It makes it like it's no longer fun. Like it's a legitimate business. Like I'm sitting there. It's 11 o'clock at night. I have work at 5 a.m. the next day, and I'm looking up like the best rushing yards against the Panthers or something like that when it comes to who I can add on the waiver wire and everything. And it becomes like a full-time job. I knew I needed to quit fantasy football. And like I said, this last year, probably because of the pandemic and I was just, missing sports. I had a couple of friends invite me. I was like, all right, I'll get back into, one league at SNY and then another league with some buddies thinking it could be fun and bond. And it was fun getting back. But I had to quit because a few years ago, this is a true story. I think I was in only 2 or 3 leagues max, but I remember setting my alarm for 2 a.m. in the morning so I can pick up a defense off the waiver wire without putting in a claim. I mean, that's now I wanted to win. I did end up winning, but when you're setting your alarm to pick up a freaking defense to stream that week, you've got issues. And that's my issue again with moderation. if I'm into it, I want to do it right. I want to be all into it and hit the waivers. Actually, Moose, who I know you're going to have on next, him and I we are a tag team in the SNY league, and he's excellent with the draft, and we'll go back and forth with drafting players. But he always hits the draft, and then I'm the guy who maintains throughout the course of the year pickups and waiver wires, but that's a lot of freaking work. It is. So I took a few-year break, and it was nice, but it's fun to be back, and I love doing it. It's just a lot of work to do it right.
Sir, I don't see a single thing wrong with waking up at 2 a.m. to go do that.
I've done it too. I mean, and when he said, I took zero offense to him saying that you have issues when you do it, because I have issues because I do that. Like, I remember setting my work schedule.
I'm trying to win, bro. I'm saying that.
I know, but when you you guys single? What's your guys deal? You married? What do we got? You're married. All right. It's hard. Look, single Sal, living in the city, doing whatever I want to do, being up till 2 or 3. I wouldn't need to set an alarm. I'd be up at 2 or 3. But as I've gotten older and different responsibilities and, you get married, it's hard to fully dedicate myself the way that I feel you need to be successful. And setting an alarm at 2 in the morning to pick up a defense it's a little bit of an issue.
I agree. I'm right there with you. I'll throw one thing at you, non-Super Bowl related, just because the news dropped today. Matt Ryan not getting traded. Julio Jones not getting traded. Happy or sad?
I'm not either, I don't think. Now, it's funny. Last week on the national show, that I was doing on the overnight, Matt Ryan was a topic somehow. And I'm thinking, I don't want to do this and come across as too falcony, but the callers were talking about Matt Ryan, and here we are now. It's news today, as you mentioned. I love Matt Ryan. I still think he has good football left. I'm not looking to just dump him to move on to somebody who's unknown. Would I be opposed to drafting one of the top quarterbacks and having him sit for a year under Ryan? No, I think that's the model. Or if you don't do that this year, maybe next year. But I also think this team has enough talent to where they can legitimately contend this year. So Julio Jones drives me nuts because he's always hurt. I know he's an all-time great receiver. I get that. And he's done a lot of good for them. I'm excited for the next chapter in Atlanta Falcons football, but I also understand that this chapter with Matt Ryan is the greatest in their history. And I want nothing more than to see Matt Ryan somehow get back to a Super Bowl and win it all. Now, I hope they can put the pieces around him. So you want to have a combination of competing now, but also with a mind on, hey, he may have 2, 3, whatever years left. So look for the future as well. So I'm okay with it. I'm not thrilled that they're not moving on from them. I'm not thrilled that they're both back. I'm okay with it, though, because I love Matt Ryan.
So,
Tim, you have a question?
Yeah, real quick. Well, it's not for me. So, Sal, right now we're live on Twitch as well. So there was a comment, Mr. TRUEXACT'S, Scott, the guy who is the head of all of this, says, we have to congratulate you. You have a kid on the way?
Yeah, baby due in April. I know. My life, forget fantasy. I mean, I'm barely lucky if I'm going to be able to watch football next year. But yeah, a kid is on the way. Thank you for that. Yes, due April 19th. So who knows what that's going to bring.
So
awesome. Congrats.
Mentioned it like this. So we're going with the high. He also wants to know, how did you deal with that 28-3 Super Bowl loss? How much of what did you drink? And
yeah, you brought up Super Bowls. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, it's what's weird. Like the only thing I kept thinking after the fact was, why would this happen to the Atlanta Falcons of all teams? Like what did that fan base ever do to deserve the worst loss in the history of the sport? Matt Ryan, an all-time good guy. The Falcons fans are so essentially irrelevant. They're the Atlanta Falcons. Until Michael Vick, nobody cared about him. Even when they were the Dirty Birds in the Super Bowl, they went away quietly the next year, and Jamal Anderson gets hurt. Vick comes, people start to get excited about it. He gets thrown in. Think about what's happened to the Atlanta Falcons. Michael Vick, the face of the league, the face of the franchise, gets thrown in prison. Then they recover from that to go on to have back-to-back winning seasons and consistent playoff appearances with Mike Smith and Matt Ryan. Then they get to the Super Bowl. Ryan wins an MVP. They close out the Georgia Dome smoking Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, a game that I was there for. It flew down back-to-back weekends. Nice. Then they get to the Super Bowl, have a 28-3 lead. I remember at halftime, I jinxed myself, but I got up at halftime, and my wife, my girlfriend at the time, or fiance at the time, was asking me, how do you feel? And I looked at her and said, I feel like a Super Bowl champion, which obviously to this day I regret. But they get out to the 28-3 lead against the Patriots and Tom Brady. That's it. That is, as a fan, all you can ever want. This is going to be the perfect season. Just give me one. And then they lose it in horrifying fashion. There are no words for it. As a sports fan, you never come back from that. I will never be the same as a sports fan after dealing with a loss like that, because think about it, to overcome that, they have to win multiple Super Bowls. At least if they win one with Ryan, I could be like, okay, they got one, but they should have already had that one, and it'll never be that perfect scenario the way that it was. So it's devastating. You don't recover. It's the worst loss in the history of the sport.
I know all about jinx. We'll get back to the Super Bowl in a second, but I just because I know from listening to you that you're a big Mets fan. For me, that was I'm a Mets fan as well. I'm kind of a weirdo with an Eagles Mets fandom, but When Endy Chavez made the catch in Game 7, I would have bet my inevitable mortgage. I would have bet my college tuition. I would have bet my wife. I would have bet everything that they were winning the World Series. And then to see, the way that they lost in Game 7 back in 2006 is probably the worst loss. I think it broke me as a Mets fan. So I know all about guarantees and thinking that something was going to happen when it didn't. I know there's a bunch of Yankee fans.
Yeah, I mean, that was brutal. I'm trying to think of the equivalent to that. I mean, think about it, though. You're up 20, the Mets.
That's Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, right. So it would be the equivalent of having, maybe the Red Sox in '86, right? I mean, they have that lead, about to win the World Series and you blow it. But that was a brutal, I mean, you bring up the Mets series, that was a brutal series. That's probably the worst loss in my lifetime as a Met fan. I mean, I was young in '86. I was 6 or 7 years old, so I loved it, and that was my favorite team. 2000 hurt for different reasons, because it was the Yankees celebrating at Chase Stadium. But the '06 team was probably the best team since '86 or '88 at the very least. And again, I was probably too young to appreciate that. That team should have at the very least gone to the World Series, and they didn't. So I'm with you. That was a brutal loss.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the chat said that their biggest loss was the '04 ALCS as a Yankees fan.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Sure.
Up against Boston, and then.
I mean, that's as bad as it gets, losing to the hated Red Sox. But at least the Yankees have the World Championships. You could say, all right, it's the worst loss, and it's bad and embarrassing, and they'll always have that over us. But the Yankees are still the Yankees. I mean, they still have all the championships. So, really, how much smack can you talk?
You'd be surprised.
I think if that was the Chicago White Sox that came back from 03 to win, it wouldn't have hurt as much as it being the Red Sox. But we'll go back to the Super Bowl. That's what we're here for. So on November 29th, the Kansas City Chiefs in Raymond James Stadium won 27-24. Do you take any stock in that when you make your inevitable bets for the Super Bowl, or is it too far? It's a new game.
No, because the Bucs are a completely different team. What I've been saying about the Chiefs, it's funny how the lines and the spreads impact how we view teams, right? Because you look at Kansas City, they don't lose. I mean, they haven't lost basically in 2 years, but yet this year, why am I saying at some point, I don't know, something's off with them? Because I know how talented they are. They should be smoking these teams, and yet they barely covered, it seems, throughout the year. That was another game, if I'm not mistaken, where Tampa have a backdoor cover where they came back and ended up losing that game by 3? I'm pretty sure they had a backdoor cover. Yeah. And you're thinking, what is going on with Kansas City? Every week it's the same thing. They get out to a big lead, they blow the lead, they blow the cover. They win the games, but they're blowing the cover or just not smoking opponents the way that you think that they should. But that's one aspect. So we look at the line as opposed to what they're actually doing, and maybe kind of Casey gets diminished in your eyes until you see them in the postseason, and once again they look unbeatable and unstoppable. But the main reason why I don't look back on that is because the Bucs are a different team. They run the football much better now. Fournette has been a beast here in the postseason. Brady, Super Bowl. Their defense has been spectacular. I don't know if it's going to be good enough. I don't think anybody can stop Kansas City. I don't know if it's going to be good enough to slow them down enough. That we have to see. But I think the Bucs are a different team, so I'd take that first matchup and throw it out.
If I'm playing devil's advocate, because I agree, the Chiefs are almost an unstoppable offense, but they just lost an offensive lineman to, I believe, an Achilles injury. They had another injury earlier in the year. They're replacing the Achilles injury with a journeyman lineman with back issues as of late. And we know, whether it be JPP, who we have a long history with being New York, we live in the New York metropolitan area. We know that they can get after the quarterback. I would have to assume that they're not going to run the ball against Tampa Bay. They're going to be throwing it a lot. Over under 56, 57. You going over? You going under?
That's the total for the game?
Yeah, I think it's 56 at this point.
Yeah, full disclosure, I am horrible with over-unders. And to me, it's just a 50-50 thing. I mean, how many times have we said, oh, this is going to be a shootout, and yet nobody's scoring any points? So I don't know about the specific number, if I could give you a pick there. I also don't expect the game to be as high scoring as everybody thinks.
Yeah.
Maybe that would make me lean under. I mean, I don't know, 56 with these two teams, is that really that many points? You could see a late barrage by either team for that matter. So look, personally, I wouldn't touch that. I can't give you a pick. I don't think that the Bucs are going to be able to do enough defensively to stop Kansas City. Even if you slow them down, they're still, even if they turn the ball over, right? Even if they start to beat themselves, which is very rare, they're still going to score in the high 20s to low 30s, I would think. I mean, it's not like Kansas City's going to be held to 17 points. And I don't think this is going to be what you saw with the Patriots, the undefeated Patriots and the Giants, where it was 17-10 or whatever. I don't think you're seeing that type of defense from the Buccaneers. I don't know if that's possible. So I don't know. I don't expect it to be a full shootout either. I would think it's going to be probably right around there. I mean, you guys tell me, maybe you're better with the over-under or not. I think Tampa is the question. I think Kansas City, I'll mark them in for 30. So what's Tampa going to do? Is Tampa going to be able to get to 27, 28? Are we looking at that type of game? Say Kansas City gets to 34. Are the Bucs going to be able to score more than 20? Maybe they will. Maybe it's, what do we got? What's the math on 30, 34, 21? That's under, right?
Yeah.
34, 24 is over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably going something like that, maybe 31. I think it's going to go under by a little bit. That would be my educated guess when I'm completely wrong on over-unders.
When the game goes off on Sunday, if it's at 56, it'll be the second highest over-under spread in Super Bowl history.
Wow. What's been the highest scoring Super Bowl?
The Eagles and the Patriots.
And what was that total? Or what was the total there with those two?
70-something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't, it's a Super Bowl too. You get the long halftime. I don't know. I don't, in my mind, I can't envision a track meet. I don't think you're going to have it going back and forth the way that maybe these two teams will play. If it were an indoor game in the regular season, I don't know. I feel like it'll be a little bit lower than that. But what do I know? What's the public on? Are they on the over or under?
A lot of money has come in on the over to drop it. I think it opened at 58. I think.
So they dropped it 2 points. Yeah. I go against the public. If I don't know, I'll go against the public because generally that's a safe bet.
Yeah.
Disclosure: we're all fucking dumb.
Right.
Like you said in the beginning, you're going to lose more than you're going to win. If you guys have questions on Twitch, Sal's been really gracious with your time. Sal, I got one more question for you, but if you have questions on Twitch, get them in now. Everybody wants to know. So you got Kansas City, we know that, laying 3. You got heads, we know that. Orange Gatorade is plus 100. Red Gatorade is plus 175. You have clear or water, which I don't ever remember seeing clear water. Plus 175. You got yellowish green, the lemon lime flavor at plus 200. You got blue at plus 650, and you got purple at plus 650. What Gatorade are we going with?
Great question. Do you know what it was last year by any chance?
Wasn't it red?
I thought it was orange. There's no other reason why orange wouldn't be the favorite if it wasn't the last year's color.
Interesting.
I hope it's not yellow because that's the worst Gatorade flavor.
I don't mind the yellow, lemon lime.
I like yellow.
I like the blue.
It's the worst one.
I like blue. I mean, man, I haven't had Gatorade in a while, but I used to love the purple. Was good for a while. I'm going to say, I also think the way that I would bet this is, okay, well, which team is going to win? Like if I thought Tampa would win, maybe I would lean orange for whatever reason. It doesn't make
It was
any sense.
orange. Last year was orange, by the way. Good
And
call.
Kansas City won and it was orange. So I would probably say the same then, because if I think the Chiefs are going to win the game, remember, athletes, teams, very superstitious. Hard time believing they would change up the Gatorade color, being that they won it last year with orange. So I would go probably orange. And what is that? That's a favorite? Is it
Plus 100.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't bet that because there's no payoff there, but I'd probably go orange.
Fair. Tim,
What
sir,
you
any
guys
more
got?
questions? Anyone on Twitch?
Yeah, here's the last question on Twitch. What is the worst Atlanta Falcon jersey that you own?
Ooh. Worst meaning like regret buying, or that he turned out to be the worst player or the least popular player. I mean, there are different variations here.
$1,000, it's probably the worst one you own. I don't, you tell us what you consider to be the worst one.
probably Peerless Price, because there were high. Now it's a replica. Luckily, I didn't get the authentic Peerless Price. He was a bust, right? I mean, I was excited to get him at the time. Vic needed more weapons, so I thought finally they have a real receiver. And Peerless Price was terrible, so I would say that was a waste of $60 or whatever it was for that jersey.
Full disclosure, I have one of those too.
A Falcons Peerless Price?
Yep, the red one.
You're a Niners fan. I mean, what if I had a TO jersey? You'd be okay with that? Me being a Falcons
in my
fan?
younger days, I bought a lot of jerseys in my younger days. All right?
Yeah, no, I know. It's different.
All the shoes up, you know. You gotta,
I'm all for the
it's red or black. I like the color scheme. All right.
I'm all for the jerseys. I can't bring myself to ever get a Niners jersey, as classic as they are, just because I grew up, despising them. It's like the Saints. You have a Saints jersey too. I hate the Saints.
No, I don't. No.
He has a Reggie Bush.
A Reggie Bush Saints. I hate the Saints and Bucks. Those are my two most hated teams. Used to be the Niners, but again, not anymore. And I like Kyle Shanahan, by the way.
Nah, you would never catch me in a Seattle jersey. I'll tell you that's for sure.
There you go. See, that's one, right? Exactly. I don't like Seattle.
Cowboys too.
You can't wear an in-division jersey. That just makes no sense.
Right.
You can't. I would never wear a Giants, Cowboys, or a football team. I almost said it.
Right.
You can't
you can't wear it.
I know he's a football team fan, so I got to make sure I say it right.
Right, you can't wear a division rival jersey, so that's why I was a little. Maybe you're too young to remember the Niners and Falcons, and even if you were old enough, I mean, the Niners used to crush them anyway. So from your perspective, it doesn't matter. For me, you know what pained me? Watching Dion prance down the sideline in a Niners uniform at the Georgia Dome, screaming, "This is my house." That hurt me back in '95.
He wasn't lying.
You're right. He's the reason I became a Falcons fan, by the way, back then. But anyway. You got anything else for me, guys, or what?
No, Sal, I appreciate you jumping on. We all do. Thank you so much. One more time, Sal, we can find you on SNY, WFAN, part of the New York Post Knicks podcast. You can follow him on Twitter at Sal_Licata. So make sure you tweet him when Tails hits in purple Gatorade.
Oh, you get a tweet, my man.
Now I'm definitely betting heads because I said it. I have to make that bet. So good luck to all your bets, guys.
Thanks, Sal. Appreciate it so much, and good luck
problem.
in the Super Bowl, and good luck with the new baby on the way.
Thank you. Appreciate that. We'll
Take
talk
care.
to you guys soon. Take care.
Take care. Bye. Guys, so we had Sal Licata on, so appreciate that. As we wait for Marc Malusis, let me just check.
and Nick, real quick, we can't have that guy on anymore.
Why's that?
He entered the chat, right? He entered the Zoom, and Charisse, right in chat in front of my face, had big smiley with the stars, oh my God. Yeah, so you know what? He did a great job. Phenomenal, but he's out.
Sounds like you're going to be listening to WFAN a little bit more and a little less of ESPN radio.
I don't think so.
I got confirmation from Marc Malusis at 8:08, so he will be joining us momentarily. We don't have a ton of time, assuming he jumps on in 4 minutes. So let's talk about the DraftKings promo that we have lined up. So what I'm going to do right now, and of course the DraftKings promo that we're running in our free pool, absolutely free. All you have to do is join the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Go to the Join Create Pool section and enter the code 8GHNZST. When you join the pool, and I'm clicking on it right now so that I can let you know what the pool questions are.
Say it one more time. Say the code one more time. It's all capitals, right?
Yeah, all caps. So you have 8, Gretzky, Hands, Nick, Zach, Sir, Tim. That is 8GHNZST. When you jump on that, and like I said, so I'm going to do it right now so I can tell you. So at the top, you'll see Sportsbook, Casino, Pools. You're going to want to click on Pools. Then you're going to want to click on Join and Create a Pool. You're going to enter that code. And here are some of the questions that are part of this pool, if it lets me open it up. So you have which team will win the game, which team will cover the spread, the total points, which player will score the first rushing or receiving touchdown, which player will have the most passing yards, total touchdowns passing, which player will have the most rushing yards. And these are all either, if it's a person, it's multiple choice. If it's a number, it's over-unders. which player will have the most receiving yards, total combined receiving yards between Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, and will any player score 2 or more rushing and or receiving touchdowns? So quite a few questions. It is 100% pure luck. You do not have to be a football expert to win this pool, because the answer to every one of those questions will be staring you in the face. It's just clicking the right answer. So the winner will get a True Exact Radio shirt and a True Exact Radio hat, which should be fun. Tim, go ahead.
And they'll get a $25 free bet via Big Time Challenge. And for the chat, no, I'm not shaving my head. I also, I don't know, those white headphones probably cost about 18 Big Time Challenges, so I ain't getting them either. They looked expensive. That's not happening unless we hit some big bets on the Super Bowl. We'll tell you which ones.
Put it all on tails, Mo. Come on, kid.
Put it all on tail. White headphones on tails? Maybe. We'll see.
Let's talk about my background compared to Sal's.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask him. What was back there? What was it? A trophy case of everything.
That was awesome. I'll say that. That was awesome.
I got a futon behind me. It's kind of the same, right?
Yeah, kind of.
I got that light strip. Sir, that's your ceiling, Mo. You ain't got nothing up there.
Guys, just a reminder, there is now a True Exact Radio website, which is True TRU Exact EXACT Radio.com website. All of our archived shows, ours, Mark Side of the Ring, Random University, the True Exact Show, all of the random shows are on. Marc Malusis is in the waiting room, so we could jump onto him any minute. There's also a gift set or a shop where you can buy all of your stuff, whether it be Mark Side, True Exact, Random University, Sharp Bets Fantasy Sets.
Nick,
you can find.
Is he ready right now? Because
he's on.
Oh, he's good? All right, never mind.
He's ready to go.
Let's do
That's
it.
right.
All right, we're in with Marc Malusis. All right, guys, you can find him on WFAN Mondays through Fridays with Maggie on the Maggie and Moose Show on WFAN 10 to 2. You could follow him at Marc Malusis. You could follow the Maggie and Moose Show at M&M-WFAN. He's also on SNY. He's part of the pre and post game show, Rutgers football. He's also on You Better You Bet with Nick Costos Sunday mornings. I think I hit them all, Moose. Did I hit them all?
You hit them all, yeah. What's going on, guys? How are you?
Not much. Thank you so much for joining us. My name's Nick. We have big time Tim Secor and Sir joining us. We appreciate you jumping on.
What's up, boys? How's everything? How you guys doing tonight, all right?
Doing good.
Far so good, pal. So far good.
Well, so far we were all trumped by Sal's background, and Tim's girlfriend is now in love with Sal Licata. So that's where we're at right now on the show.
There you go. Very nice. Very nice. Well, I can't beat Sal's background of all the bobbleheads that he has in his house, but we'll try and give it a shot. So there you go.
It's an incredible background. But first and foremost, same question we started with Sal. Overall, how did this NFL season treat you betting-wise? Did you do well? Any bets that stick out to you as far as home run bets? Or
Yeah, I mean, I did okay. I haven't really done all that well here in the postseason. I like the Packers against the Bucs in the NFC Championship game. I thought there was some value with the Buffalo Bills, against the Kansas City Chiefs. So those were two misses on Championship Sunday, a week and a half ago. Overall, I did all right. I mean, Nick and I do the show on Sunday mornings on the Fan. He does a really good job with props. I hit on some props earlier on in the postseason, which was pretty good. And in the regular season, I think I cracked a tad around 54% with some of my picks. So, anytime you're ahead of it, it wasn't an unbelievable NFL season for me. I'm not going to lie to you, but I had fun nonetheless.
I'll say just a quick Nick Costos story. I've been a fan of You Better You Bet with him and Ken Barkley dating back to last year. And he was all over Kyle Juszczyk anytime touchdown last year in the Super Bowl. I know Sir obviously remembers that being a Niners fan, but
There you go.
I remember tweeting Nick Costos after that saying, can I like Venmo you money? Because that bet alone hit me at least $800. So I was super excited about that. He was like, no, just be a fan of the show. And that's enough for me. So
That's it. That's
great,
it.
great
He's
guy. But I
great.
love what you guys do on Sunday mornings too. I mean, the Prop King and you do a great job. So appreciate the money.
No,
you
Nick's
won
great.
me.
And anytime he can make you some money, right? And you go and he gives you a kind of a long shot and it hits, you'll never forget. So you'll be a fan for life. So that's a nice $800 hit that he had last Super Bowl. And
100%.
And you're going to take that any day of the week. So and now you're locked into You Better You Bet 4 to 8 each and every day on radio.com.
That's it, man. And you guys on Sunday. So take me through your past Super Bowls. I mean, do you have any traditions, any bets that you always make? You a Super Bowl squares guy, prop bets? What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, my wife loves the boxes. So, I mean, we play the box. I think I'm in 2 different ones, that different valuations of it. I mean, I'm not a big one where, and my brother-in-law's in like a $500 box and everything like that. It's too big of a gamble for me to put like 500. I know you can get kind of like the money that blows you away at the end. But, I mean, I do more of the $20 or $50 variety. And it's fun. I mean, it's, you have to give you a little bit lucky with the numbers. So I do Super Bowl boxes. I like playing some props in terms of, I always play the coin toss. I'll do the Gatorade bath. I'll play the MVP. I'll take a little bit of a shot. I won't play the quarterbacks. I'll go a little bit of a long shot this year. I kind of like Devin White a little bit. If you like the Buccaneers, he's plus 4,000 to win an MVP. So that's a value I think is there, because I think if the Bucs are going to be victorious on Sunday, trying to convince myself that I like Tampa Bay, I think it's going to be more about the defense than it is going to be about the offense. So I'll play the MVP, Gatorade bath, coin toss. Maybe I'll dabble a little bit with the halftime show. I haven't really been all that lucky with that. I know some guys love playing the national anthem over or under. That's really not my cup of tea. I think I played it maybe once or twice over the course of my lifetime. That's it. But I like to dabble in, the overall, the total, the spread, playing first halves, and I'll play dabble in some of those crazy or quirky props when it comes to the game.
So I gotta ask, heads or tails?
Go ahead. I was just about to say. So Sal said heads. I agree with Sal on heads. Tim and Sir both said tails. You're the tiebreaker, Moose.
I'm with Tim and
Tails,
Sir.
my man.
There you go. That's it.
Never fails.
Tails never fails,
man.
Tails never fails. That's where I go.
Yeah, heads doesn't have a catchy rhyme. We'll hit you. We'll hit you with the Gatorade colors as well too. So. Last year was orange. That's why it's the favorite at plus 100, but you got red at plus 175. You have clear/water. I don't ever remember seeing that at plus 175. Yellowish green, lemon lime, I'm assuming plus 200. And then blue and purple, both plus 650. What's your early lean on Gatorade?
Yeah, I like the yellow green. What am I getting? Plus 275. That's where I would go this year. I don't think you're going to get orange back-to-back years. And I did have orange last year, so I hit on that. But I'm going to go the green or yellow as the Gatorade bath for whoever's victorious at the end.
All right, I like it,
I
guys.
hope it's not yellow, I said, because that's the worst flavored Gatorade to me.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, I'm a big orange guy. I like the mixing of what is it? Not the fruit punch, but there's one that has kind of like a strawberry feel to it. I like that a little bit. I like the frost, like the white frost is very, very good. Yeah, it's a quirky color, but the like neon green or blue frost one is very, very good as well. But I'm with you. I'm not a big fan of the lemon lime Gatorade. Give me the orange or give me the fruit punch over the original flavors. I'm with you, sir.
Thank you. See?
See, we're sharing a brain already. I'm already going.
This guy's all right.
We're on the same color. We're on the same flavors of Gatorade.
You know what I'm
Moose,
saying?
what you got to understand from watching the show, which we've been doing since week 1 of the NFL season, is Sir kind of has like this Eddie Mush vibe where, the teller gives him the tickets already ripped up. So I'm not sure.
Is that really? Is that true, sir? You're not the lucky one?
Listen. On prop bets, I'm all right. Game picks, don't worry about it.
So you could basically
right.
stop a horse at the 16th pole? Is that it? He's got like a 6-length lead if you're on him?
It's possible. You know what I'm saying? He might run off the track, hop over the railing or something. The jockey falls off. Who knows?
How did you guys do handicapping this year with the NFL?
I'm more of a prop. My whole strategy is prop bets. I'm more fantasy football season long than anything else, but I guess technically I do a lot of like $5, $10, $20 parlay hits. So win-loss percentage, very, very low. But money-wise, I only need one or two to hit for me to make all of my money and then some. So I was positive for the NFL season just because I hit one. I hit a teaser, 8-game teaser early on. I remember it was whatever week the Dallas Cowboys forgot how to, or the Atlanta Falcons forgot how to recover an onside kick. That game made all the difference in my pick. And it just happened to be my birthday weekend. So that was a teaser that I ended up putting $100 of my birthday money on, and I ended up winning $1,600. So that alone, I was positive just on that.
That's great.
Yeah. I'm very lucky with parlays, and I shouldn't.
And how much did you put in to win $1,600?
It was $100.
That's fantastic. Good for you.
Yeah,
That's a nice game.
Well, lucky for sure.
And you'll keep you above board all season long. Nice $1,600.
It'll keep me in being able to justify to my wife just how much money I bet on fantasy football and everything that I do.
Are all you guys married or no?
Just me.
No. Just you. Okay. Does your wife bust your chops about betting or no?
How many leagues are you in this year? You're in 5? I thought you were only in 4 last year. Why are you in 5? It comes with the territory. It's all good.
My wife on Football Sunday sometimes pushes me to bet more games. Who do we have here? Who do we have there? Who do we have? Who are we picking?
They
only do that if you
hold back a second here. Relax. I don't like anybody in this game. Come on, it makes it more interesting. I'm like, all right, Don. All right, I got it. Happy wife, happy life. You guys will learn that the hard way at some point in your lives.
The Moose of the winnings, how much money does she get?
Gets it all. What do you mean?
Well, of course she wants you to bet more.
Yeah, I understand. She gets it all. I barely buy anything for myself. She's got stuff coming in from Amazon, this and that. But yeah, I know. I mean, we share everything, so whatever I get, she gets, and it's more of a case of it's my wife's money than it is my money. So I just I like being right sometimes. That's really what it comes down to me, more so than the case of you have all this kind of all kind of money going in, but winning money is great. And that's why you're in the game, and it makes it interesting as long as you can do it responsibly. I never bet above and beyond like my means or anything like that. Never get crazy, but I do it more for the enjoyment of it, just to put like a little extra feel on a game, and especially stuff that I really believe in. I'll never bet a game that I really don't love. I don't like just put action on it. I only like to bet games that I really love. Like I love the Ravens this year. In that first playoff game against the Tennessee Titans. That was probably my strongest play and my biggest play this year in the postseason. I just thought Lamar Jackson was due. I thought the Ravens were due going into Tennessee. I was never a Titan believer all season long. The defense stunk. And I just thought the way that the Ravens finished off the season, I loved Baltimore on the road wild card weekend and that first game on that Sunday of the triple header. So that was probably my strongest play of this entire postseason. I'm trying to convince myself about my strong play this Sunday in Super Bowl 55, but that was probably my strongest play this year.
Let's get into Super Bowl 55. The first question I want to ask you is Andy Reid off the bye. How much stock do you put in that going into this game?
Yeah, not so much. I mean, I think he's great, obviously, in the regular season. I mean, the numbers are historic to prepare his team. I think it's a little bit different when you look at this game. Reid, we remember the last time, the first time with the Philadelphia Eagles finally making it to the Super Bowl, that game against the New England Patriots down in Jacksonville. That was the alleged, Donovan McNabb throwing up. Terrell Owens was the best player on the field that day. And the Eagles could have easily won that game. But, I don't hold it against Andy Reid that they lost, nor do I look at it last year in their comeback victory against sorry, sir, you're San Francisco 49ers. But do I give credit to Andy Reid? I think it was more the brilliance of Patrick Mahomes than anything else. But I think that's more of a regular season thing for me, looking at it. If I'm looking for an angle in this game of why I like the Kansas City Chiefs, I would not really pay all that much attention to the bye week and what Andy Reid's teams have done off of a bye.
Okay. Any questions on?
You gotta keep me while I'm down, brother. Why you gotta bring up bad memories?
I'm sorry, man. I thought you guys were home. Honestly, I was stunned by the way the Chiefs turned that thing around. I really was. I thought you guys were home. You're getting after Mahomes, the defense. I thought you had done enough.
Yeah. for Moose, since I'm not sure if you know, we're also streaming live on Twitch, so we have a couple people watching over there, and so there's a couple questions we have. They want to know how you like the current WFAN lineup that you got going right now.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I love it. I'm blessed to be in the opportunity of doing 10 to 2 with Maggie each and every day. Started that in early of 2020, January of 2020. It's been a crazy year for everyone in the country with the pandemic and COVID-19. And, I haven't been to the studio since mid-March. So that's crazy. But Craig returning with Evan, I think their show sounds great. And I think it's gaining more and more momentum. And I think it's a really, really good, fun, interesting afternoon drive show. And then Boomer and Gio in the morning have been, a ratings machine. So to be in the middle of those two shows, it's Maggie and I are pretty fortunate. And I'm happy to be doing middays each and every day. And I think the lineup's really strong.
I'm a huge fanboy of WFAN and have been since probably high school, when I've been listening since. But I'll just tell you one quick story. So we were at the same XFL football game, and I know this because Shane McMahon was there, and my wife and I saw him out on the crowd. It was their second home game. I guess it would have been week 3, and then obviously COVID took over, and the XFL went goodbye until next year, hopefully. But I saw, because I follow you on Twitter, that you took a picture with Shane McMahon. So my interest went from trying to find Shane McMahon again to take a picture with him was trying to find you and take a picture with you, because I knew you were at the same game, and obviously the opportunity never arose. But I think Tim and I had season tickets for the XFL Guardians. We were 50-yard line, row 1. So we had access to that suite downstairs.
Yeah, we were in that suite.
Oh, it was awesome. I know. I kept looking for you. I couldn't find you, but
no, we were in that suite. Yeah. So a buddy of mine was doing PR for the XFL, and he was like, you should come out for a game. Bring your boys. I've got 3 boys, 7, 5, and 4. Right, Jackson, Paul, and Gregory. And they're like, come out. It'll be a great experience. We'll have a good time with it, and we'll take you on the field and before the game, and you can take some photos, watch the pregame warm-ups and everything like that. And it was a great experience. My kids were into it. They were a little bothered by the fact that the XFL is not coming back, or at least for another year until it gets revamped by The Rock. But we had a great day, yeah. And my wife loves Shane O'Mac, loves Shane McMahon, loves his sneaker game, loves everything about it. Loves his entry in at the WWE and the money. Thinks it's great. And she was exactly right. You got it, Timmy. And then she was starstruck. We were sitting in that. We were getting something to eat for the boys in that suite, and all of a sudden Shane O'Mac walked her by, and she's like, "Oh my God, I got to get a picture with him." I'm like, all right. We waited, and he couldn't have been a nicer guy. Couldn't have been more cordial. Was really cool. So we snapped that photo with Shane, and off he went, leaving that day. But yeah, that's great. So you guys enjoy. How many games did they play at home over at MetLife?
2.
So that was the only. That was the second and last home game before the season got suspended.
That was it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What was that? The first weekend in March?
Tim, so we went to the first game together. We had season tickets together, of course. We went to the first game together. Second game was on the road in St. Louis. They got torched. And then week 3, Tim couldn't go because of a wedding. So I don't know if you know that date. So I took my wife. Our Facebook photo was us sitting. You could see that we were like on the field.
Yeah.
So Tim only got to go to 1 game of the season tickets. I went to 2, but yeah, it would have been about March. I guess, right?
Yeah, I think it was about March. Yeah. Are you guys huge WWE fans too?
I was going to just I promise everybody that's watching, we'll get back to the Super Bowl, which is what it's all about. But I know just from being a fan of your show, you got the Undisputed Era music coming in and out. You've had JR on the show multiple times, so I know you're a big wrestling fan. What did you think of the Royal Rumble?
I thought it was good. I mean, I thought the women's Royal Rumble was really great. And I think it, you knew you were going to get somebody in the end that McMahon trusts, right? I mean, that's really it. That ends up being victorious in the Royal Rumble. I know there was some, my producer and my good friend Brian Monzo, who produces our show, is a huge wrestling fan, and I was watching on Sunday night at home with the kids before they tuckered out and fell asleep. I thought the Rumble, was really good. I know people have knocked the WWE product. If you watch Raw on Monday nights, it hasn't exactly been great. And some of the storylines and vibes and themes and have been kind of ticked off about where Vince McMahon has taken it. I thought he had a really strong Royal Rumble on Sunday night. I thought it was entertaining. Doesn't bother me that Edge was victorious. I thought it was a really good pay-per-view. I really enjoyed it. How about you guys?
I'll let you guys go first.
So full disclosure, we also bet on the Royal Rumble.
That's the story I was going to tell. You could tell them. It's fine.
So we hold a little pool. We get 30 of our friends to put $5 ahead each. Pick a name out of a hat, pick a number. Whoever comes out at that number, that's who you get. In my pool personally, we did, if you win, you get X amount, second, third, and whoever gets eliminated first. So even if you pull number 1 and 2, which would have been terrific this year, you have a chance to win money. My buddy runs a bigger pool where I think it was $30 ahead for a number, and that one's winner take all. So you get one out of 30 chance to win $900. So
what numbers did you guys pull?
So I'll take over from here. So the night before, I had number 2. So the night before, they said, okay, we're going to announce the men's. Randy Orton's number 1. Edge is number 2. So I came home and I was like, honey, we have Edge, because of course you were going back to the previous conversation, whatever I win, she wins. So I'm like, we got Edge. So come to the Royal Rumble, first theme song hits, it's Edge. He comes out number 1. And I don't know if it was a mistake or if because they justified it after the fact by saying that Edge was so excited, he wanted to be the first one in the ring. And truth be told, you're in the same, whether you go wire to wire at 1 or 2, it's the same amount of time because you're the first to start. But I ended up losing because I ended up getting Randy Orton and not Edge, who I was promised. So that was probably my worst wrestling beat I've ever had.
Dude, that's a terrible beat. You go into it thinking you're having 2 and you're gonna have Edge. Edge ends up coming out 1. Orton 2. Edge ends up winning. You should have fucking won. Sorry for cursing.
No, that's okay. We curse on the show. I agree. I was pissed. And my wife, who did the women's, had Rhea Ripley, so she made it all the way into the end to have Bianca Belair eliminate her. I made it all the way to the end with Orton. We were, $1,800 in our hands that was taken away by.
Oh, that's a killer.
And in the same women's one, I remember I had Charlotte. I could have won it.
Yeah.
You could have won it.
So to go back to the Super Bowl, which is what it's all about, we're big odds booster guys. So I did a little research. What odds boost based on these odds are you most confident in? Today's odds boost special was plus 555 for any touchdown to be over 55 yards. So any touchdown, doesn't matter the team, anything, a touchdown over 55 yards, plus 550. The other one was Kelsey, Tyreek Hill, Chris Godwin, and Mike Evans. All 4 had to have over 55 receiving yards each. That's at plus 400. Which one do you like best?
So Godwin, Hill, Kelsey, all over 55 yards receiving plus 400, or a touchdown pass of 55 or more yards, right?
Correct, for 555.
That's a good one. I'd probably take the touchdown pass over 55 yards, if you're asking me. The one that I'd be concerned about, that trio, would be Godwin at 55 yards, over 55 yards. That would be the one. I think Kelsey will get his touches. He's not going to have as many touches as he did, in the AFC Championship game against the Bills. Tyreek Hill, all it takes is one catch for him to go over 55 yards. So I wouldn't be all that confident in that. And with that being said, Bruce Arians, no risk it, no biscuit. They're going to at some point in time try and push the ball down the field to open up that Chiefs defense. I don't think the Chiefs defense is all that good. And you've got Mike Evans, you've got Godwin, and you've got, Scotty Miller, Antonio Brown, whoever it might be, where they're going to take their shots down the field. And then on the other side, you got Mr. Big Play Patrick Mahomes, and you've got Tyreek Hill, and you've also got Mecole Hardman as a deep threat for the Kansas City Chiefs as well. So I'd take that over 55-yard touchdown. If you're asking me either of those two, I'd be more confident in a touchdown pass over 55 yards than those three, well, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end going over 55 yards receiving.
Well, you've been gracious with your time. I got one more question. Tim,
Yeah.
see Twitch one more time and see if there's any more last-minute questions or if you guys have some. The main event question, the biggest one, Kansas City laying 3, over-under is 56. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm convinced. I said it earlier today with Maggie. I'm trying to convince myself to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think by Sunday I probably will. I know Kansas City is the most likely winner of this game because of Mahomes. Here's the problem I have with Kansas City on Sunday, though. With that is I'm really concerned about their offensive line. Without having their starting left tackle, they're 2/5 of their offensive line are going to be out on Sunday. Well, now with that being said, you have Todd Bowles. You've got a front four that's very talented. The return of Vita Vea in the NFC Championship game with Ndamukong Suh, Shaq Barrett on one side, Jason Pierre-Paul, the former Giant, on the other side going after it. I think they can get pressure with their front four. I think they've got speed at the linebacker spot. One talent evaluator told me that there's not a linebacking group in the National Football Leagues that's quicker than what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers put on the field each and every Sunday. Devin White's an absolute stud, and their corners have gotten better here as the season's gone along. So, I'm not telling you that they could shut down the Kansas City Chiefs, but can they slow them down? Can they get pressure on Mahomes, who should be over that turf toe? I think they can, and I think you can move the ball on that Kansas City Chief defense. I think you can. And I don't think Brady can outdo Mahomes. If this game ends up going touchdown for touchdown, there's no defense. I think it's going to be Patrick Mahomes who will end up coming out victorious. Might need a late score to do it, but I think he'll come out victorious. I think the Bucs slow down the Chiefs offense just a little bit. I think the defense, they've been a great second half team this entire year. I haven't loved the way Kansas City has looked outside the AFC Championship game. Buffalo looked like they were overwhelmed by the moment with some of the coaching decisions and the play early of Josh Allen. I'm going to take Tom Brady, Old Man River, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I'm going to take the 3. And if I think this game is going to be a Bucs night down in Tampa, I don't think they're winning a high-scoring game. So, I'd probably side to take, I don't love the total. I'll be perfectly honest with you guys and your audience. I don't love the total. So, but if I was going to take one way, I'd probably take the under. I'm going to take Tampa Bay in the under.
Can't argue with that. So there's 2 more sorry, you want to say something real quick?
No, I was just saying, I agree. Brady in the postseason is a different animal.
Yeah,
it's hard to bet against him.
He's unbelievable. No, he's not. I mean, you're looking at the greatest quarterback of all time. I mean, guys, this is, arguably speaking, the greatest quarterback matchup that the Super Bowl's ever seen. Because you'll never have a quarterback go into the Super Bowl more accomplished than Tom Brady. I mean, maybe Patrick Mahomes 15 years from now will be more accomplishment than Tom Brady, but nobody steps into this game on Sunday accomplishing more of what Brady's been able to do. And I could easily make the argument Patrick Mahomes is maybe the most gifted quarterback the National Football League's ever seen, with his ability to make every single throw. He's a really good guy as well, and how he makes playing the quarterback position, and he is as smart as the day is long. So I think that leads, and everyone's going to talk about it, but I do think it's the greatest quarterback matchup in Super Bowl history on Sunday.
So real quick, Nick, so Mr. TRUEXACT is in our audience right now, and he's got 2. He's got a statement and then a question. Nick, he wants you to promote your other podcast on.
I was gonna do that at the end, so I'll do that at the end.
At the end, okay.
TRUEXACT, okay.
Okay, so here's the question that Scott has. He wants to know, what is your worst Washington football team jersey that you own?
Oh, Lavernius Coles. I was the moron that I bought a Lavernius Coles Washington Redskins jersey after he left the Jets and signed with Washington via free agency. I think I wore the jersey once. It's in a box somewhere I think it's up in my dad's closet. I haven't seen the jersey in years. That's the worst jersey that I had a George Rogers jersey growing up. I've got multiple John Riggins jerseys because he's my favorite Washington Redskin of all time. And so I've got a couple others as well. I love my Sean Taylor jersey. I think he's one of the most talented safeties the NFL has ever seen. And it's a shame how his life was taken and he was murdered. I mean, just saying, I mean, if Miami, Washington, I mean, he was an unbelievable player. So I love my Sean Taylor. I love my John Riggins, but the most embarrassing jersey I have is a Lavernius Coles. There's no doubt. That's the worst one.
With Sean Taylor, that hit he laid on the kicker in the Pro Bowl. Never forget.
Oh my God! What was that? Brad Mormon from the Buffalo Bills?
Yeah, Mormon. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. That was in Hawaii in the Pro Bowl. He lit his ass up.
Nobody takes the Pro Bowl seriously except for Sean Taylor.
You know what I used to love about Sean Taylor? Remember when he would tape his face mask? And it would be altering. If you go look in Sean Taylor, there are a couple other guys that would do it over time as well. They take like that kind of finger tape guys would wear, NFL offensive lineman or defensive lineman, and he'd tape it into like a pattern on his face mask before a big game. I always loved that. I mean, Sean Taylor I loved his sock game, what he used to do with the alternating colors on his socks. I was a huge Sean Taylor fan, loved him at Miami.
Yep, and you.
Was so fired up when Washington drafted him with their first overall pick. It was an unbelievable player.
Yeah. So worst All-Star game / Pro Bowl hit, would it have been Taylor's, or who did Pete Rose obliterate? Was it Fosse, right?
Yeah, Ray Fosse.
So which hit is worse?
Well, I think basically Pete Rose ended Ray Fosse. Ray Fosse was never the same again as a baseball player after that hit. I mean, the punter, I think, when he might have gone back to a Pro Bowl after that. If you're asking me sheer violence, the Sean Taylor hit, I've gone back year after year after year. When you're bored on YouTube, you know how kind of you get caught in those rabbit holes and you're all of a sudden, it's 1-2 o'clock in the morning and you're watching videos. I'll go back and watch that Sean Taylor hit over and over again, and it's still disgusking.
The Taylor was bad because why are we running a fake punt in the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, that's true.
You have no business running a fake punt. Like, what are you doing?
That's a good point. You're exactly right.
The last podcast we had,
go ahead, Tim.
It'll take 2 seconds. The last podcast we had before we went live with our chat, we had a conversation about the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. Real quick, yes or no? You don't have to give any explanation. Does Pete Rose deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Perfect. I agree. Not to get into that, but I agree. So the other podcast they wanted to promote was myself and 2 other friends, Fred and Miguel. We do a wrestling podcast called Mark's Side of the Ring, which is obviously a play on Dark Side of the Ring. So maybe around WrestleMania season, we'll have you back on if you were interested in break down the WrestleMania card, either pre or post review. Would be cool to have you on again, being a big wrestling fan. So.
Yeah, hit me up whenever you guys need. Had a blast tonight. Thanks for having me on. And whenever you need me, just hit me up. I'd be more than happy to hop on. Love it.
Appreciate it, Moose. Again, one more time, you can follow him at Marc Malusis, at M&M WFAN, Maggie and Moose WFAN's Monday through Friday, 10 to 2, SNY, the pre and post game show with Rutgers football, and You Better You Bet with Nick Costos, my buddy. So.
Well, you got my picks. Have you guys made? Are you doing your picks on Friday? What are your picks?
We could do them right now. We could break them down after the fact. But I wish I had taken Tampa Bay at +3.5 because I really would have jumped on that all day. At 3, it's hard for me to not go with the Chiefs. I mean, something in my brain keeps telling me Tampa Bay. I just think that the offensive line with Kansas City is beat up. We know that Tampa Bay can get after the quarterback. I'm telling you, Tim. Plus, you got the Tom Brady mystique. I don't know, man. A gun to my head, I'm going Kansas City right now. But if it goes back up to 3.5, I'm all over Tampa Bay.
You want to know why Kansas City is going to win this game easily? Is because the physical eye test of me watching the championship game last week and Tom Brady physically trying to let Green Bay win the game. Green Bay is not as good of a team as Kansas City is. And I'll tell you what right now, Kansas City is going to win the game by 10 points.
Okay.
That is it.
So,
I'll get into the reasons why afterwards. We won't hold you on for the.
No. I'm curious. What are you
have a hard
drinking
time
there? By the way, is someone passing you shots?
Yeah. No, I'm passing myself.
What are you drinking there? All of a sudden, oh, there you go. Very nice.
Funny. I ran out of my other drink. I should have made 2. I always forget this. The podcast run a little long. I make the first drink in if I do another 3 shots, maybe I'll pick Tampa Bay.
And that was Jack Honey you're drinking?
Oh, honey, yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. That's great. That's good stuff.
I try to only keep one drink with me, so I'm doing Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, which isn't really a football drink. But if I keep one with me and I only drink this, I won't get up and get more. So I'm happy with
You're
this.
drinking Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer.
Cucumber lime.
Maybe you should.
Cucumber lime, light it up.
Maybe you should go on the podcast. He'll make you drink something like that. It won't be.
Oh boy. Well, thanks.
Right. Your other host doesn't allow you to drink. That's
Oh yeah, he's making fun of me. Moose, thanks so much for jumping on, though. We really appreciate it. Thanks.
Wait, sir, who do you got?
Oh, sir, geez.
I've always forgotten about it. It's all right. I think KC wins the game, but I think Tampa covers the spread.
Okay.
It's going to be a close game.
That's good for me because we know how Sir picks them.
Hey,
Eddie Mush.
But I do like the over. I do like the over in the game.
Well, now I could say thank you one more time, Moose. Thanks for jumping on. Appreciate it, and stay well and good luck in the Super Bowl on Sunday.
Hey, guys, enjoy. All right. Thanks for having me on. Best of luck with all your plays, boxes, everything like that. And hopefully the Super Bowl treats you a lot better than the Rumble did, all right?
Yeah,
Thank you,
absolutely. Can't have any worse of a beat.
I don't think it's worse.
See you guys. Have a good one.
Take
Best
care.
of luck. Bye-bye.
Pleasure.
So there you go. We told you we'd have 2 big guests. We had 2 big guests. Appreciate both Sal Licata and Marc Malusis jumping on. And now you have to stare at our faces for the next.
Timeout. So you have the first guest on. I almost lose my girlfriend to a good-looking dude, right? You have the second guest on who says every dollar that I win goes to my girlfriend.
Not a good show. Not a good show for you, Tim.
Are you sabotaging me?
Not a great show for you, buddy. I'm sorry. So we'll jump into. So we already made our picks in the game itself. I'll go rapid fire. I also like the under. Same as Sal. Same as Moose. Sir, it sounded like you like the under as well.
I like the over.
Oh, you like the over. Okay, Tim.
Oh, I love the under. So real quick to back up my reasons why.
Yeah.
Of the 2 teams playing in the game throughout the season, only 40% of their games actually hit the over number, right? So it didn't matter who they played, they just didn't get to the 56 combined. With that being said, what's my notes say? Only 3 times in the past 10 years has 56 gotten hit in the Super Bowl. So that you got that against you too. You have the issues with KC's offensive line. I don't think it makes that big of a deal because Patrick Mahomes can do just about anything, and he's going to beat up a blitzing Bucs defense. But I just see it. I see the under hitting and it being a one-sided game. It's Brady's passing of the torch to Patrick Mahomes. That's what it is. Sorry, Latch, you're going to have to deal with Brady another year in Tampa because he's going to lose this and want to come back even stronger. So, sucks to suck.
Wait, Nick, you said you got Tampa Bay?
If it got back to 3.5, I would be all over Tampa. Yeah, I think so.
And you like the under? So, would it surprise you if KC puts up 30?
No, I mean, how can it surprise you if Kansas?
No. What I'm saying is that if you like Tampa, if Tampa would put up 27 to cover, that's 57. That's the over.
But that's the thing. No, I agree. That's the thing in the Super Bowl, though. I mean, either team wouldn't surprise me if they won. I mean, similar to last year, similar to, when it comes to 2 great teams, nothing would surprise me. But I just feel like so we all know the strategy to beat Kansas City is to run the ball and keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands as much as possible. If they try to shoot out with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, we know that Tampa Bay's defense, as I mentioned last week, gives up, I think, close to 70% completions. So, yeah, they got JPP. They can get to the quarterback really easily. But their cornerbacks are trash, and we saw what Tyreek Hill already has done against them. They give up the 9th most fantasy points to tight ends. Tampa Bay's defense isn't elite level. Their defensive backs and everything. They got some players.
Let's just be honest.
They're going to run the ball more. They're going to be able to control the clock. Brady's Brady's 43. He's not chucking the ball all over the field like he did against the Eagles and like he's done in Super Bowls past. To me, the game plan to beat Kansas City is simple. You pound the ball, you hit your slants, you do things like that. You keep the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands. You hope that you hit him a couple times, maybe force a fumble, and see what happens. I mean, I like the under, and I like Tampa Bay.
There is 0 defenses in the National Football League that can cover both Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. One of them is going to beat you up, if not both. If they get Sammy Watkins back, that's just another weapon you have to deal with. And I hate Sammy Watkins. I hate him. They utilize him very, very well. And you're telling me you get him back to an already team in the Super Bowl who they haven't had? If he's healthy, that is a very, very, very dangerous team. And like I said, Tom Brady played absolute garbage in the second half of that game. The fact that game was even close at the end was a joke. Green Bay should have won. Could have won the game, right? The dumb coaching play, dumb coaching call, not going for it on fourth down. Either way, that's last week. But Andy Reid's not going to make that mistake. Like that's.
Well, I think your point is valid. They just barely beat a no-name quarterback in the Washington football team as 9.5-point favorites. They needed 7 combined turnovers between the Saints and the Green Bay Packers to beat both of them. So yeah, I mean, Tampa Bay hasn't played great going into this postseason. They were the 5th seed. They were a wild card team. So I get it. It's all there, but they're in it. And they got to win one game. This is all they have to do is they have to win one game. And in this particular bet, again, -3, gun to my head, probably taking Kansas City. 3.5 though. 3.5. I like Tampa Bay. If it ever gets back to 3.5, I'm all over it.
Does the game being in Tampa sway you anyway?
It's a good question, Tim. What do you think?
No, because they haven't had a fucking home game, right? Now we can curse. All of our friends are all right. They haven't had a fucking home game. Yeah, that was great. That made me feel better. But listen, their home games were in a stadium that didn't have fans, or it's hard to call it a home game for Tom Brady when he's only been there for 6 games, right? Or 8 games, however many games they played at home. That's not necessarily a home game to me. Listen, if it was in Foxborough and they were playing a Super Bowl at Gillette, that's a home game for Tom Brady. This is not a home game. Maybe for everyone else, but the most important person that you're worried about, and not that I think it matters too much because it's Tom Brady, but I don't think the home field advantage plays any difference this year.
All I'm saying is you play a postseason game on Mars, and I'm still not betting against Tom Brady, man.
That's all right. And I'm not betting against the best quarterback in the league.
I didn't want to say something stupid in front of Moose, but I think I'll say something stupid in front of you guys. No, but I think, and I could be wrong, but I think this is the first Super Bowl where both quarterbacks are former Super Bowl MVPs as well as former MVPs of the season. So to Moose's point, best quarterback tandem of all time. In a Super Bowl, and somebody on Twitch can fact check me, but I'm almost positive I read that just today that first time ever in a Super Bowl, both quarterbacks at the time were both Super Bowl MVPs and NFL MVPs. So definitely the best quarterbacks. But we already broke down individual players, so that's a great segue into the DraftKings Showdown DFS portion of the show. So we're doing something a little bit different because in a one-game slate, all you really have is the DraftKings Showdown mode. So, of course, we haven't done this before. We've always done the picking your quarterback, your 3 wide receivers, so on and so forth. In this particular mode, if you choose to do it, it's a $50,000 cap. You get 6 players, and it's only one game, which is why they're doing it this way. The captain, one player of your 6 is a captain. Now, that player translates to 1.5 fantasy points. So basically, if that player gets a 30 fantasy point day, essentially he would be a 45 fantasy point day. Check my math on that, Tim. The cost on those said MVP/captains is that the price is inflated. So if you take Patrick Mahomes, for example, at MVP captain status, I believe he's right around $18,000. If you don't take him as captain, but you put him on your roster, he's $12,000. So
It's 1.5 normal salary.
correct. So it's basically 1.5 points.
You get 1.5 times the point value, but you got to pay, 1.5 times the amount.
So I'll go first. I think Charisse has gone down a rabbit hole tunnel of just hot NFL players because now she's talking about Eric Decker.
Eric Decker is not going to be a guest on this show. All right, and don't fucking set that up. Out, Scott. Get out of the chat right now. No Eric Decker allowed. I'm not shaving my head. I'm not fucking buying white. And you're not getting half of my goddamn bet money. This is bullshit unless you put half of it in. Then we got a deal. We can make that work.
Lobin's 75% there. He said Matt Ryan and Tom Brady. The only thing Matt Ryan hasn't ever gotten is the Super Bowl MVP, of course. But so I'm kind of a jerk. I'll rapid fire mine, but I have 2 lineups because I couldn't choose between one or the other. And I'll do them quick. I'm sorry. So first one and foremost, give me Travis Kelce, 16,500 as my captain. Give me the Bucs defense at 2,800. Give me Mike Evans at 8,400. Give me Mecole Hardman at 5,600. Give me Patrick Mahomes at 12K. And give me Tim Loves and Watkins at 4,200. The reasons are very simple. Travis Kelce, 25.7% target share per game. Absolutely elite level target share. The Bucs defense gives up the 9th most points to a tight end. We know what Tyreek Hill has already done against the Bucs this year. 13 for 269 and 3. Now you want to make a lineup that's separated from everybody else's lineups. How many people do you think are going to have Tyreek Hill in their lineups? A lot. That's why I stayed clear of them. You got to go against the grain sometimes if you're going to hit the number one. I have Mike Evans in there because he's the top red zone target for Tom Brady. Mecole Hardman, I need one play. The man is a cheetah. Not to take away Tyreek Hill's nickname, but the man's a cheetah.
Make it infringement.
Super quick. Sammy Watkins, I know Tim doesn't like him, but Tim made a lot of great points. Him being healthy is huge. The man, when he plays in games, 15% target share, and we already know last year in Super Bowl 54, 5 catches for 98 yards. So we know that the man performs in the Super Bowl. I did pick the Bucs defense, and you might be asking yourself, why are you picking the Bucs defense if you have so many Chiefs? Well, they're 3rd in the league in pressure, and as I mentioned before, the Chiefs' offensive line is a little battered. And when you have the players that you have, you need somebody at 2,800. Bucs defense, if I get 9 points from them, it's a home run pick for $2,800. My second lineup will be rapid fire even quicker. Mike Evans is my captain in this particular lineup. I think he's going to have a great game. Not to foreshadow my prop picks, but Mike Evans is going to have a great game. I'm also getting Tom Brady at 10,000. Do I need to talk about why I think Tom Brady is going to perform in a Super Bowl? Patrick Mahomes again at 1,200, but then also give me Sammy Watkins, Leonard Fournette, touchdown in every playoff game he's had so far, and Scotty Miller. Do you think this guy's motivated? He literally said this week he's faster than Tyreek Hill. Do you think he's motivated? We saw what he did last week on blown coverage, but give me Scotty Miller, 3,400. He's a dart throw, yes, but the odds are there. Tim, what do you got in your lineup?
So you might be surprised, Mr. Nick. My captain is Sammy Watkins at $6,300. Why?
I love it.
For everything that I mentioned before, plus what Nick mentioned, plus at the captain spot, that's a cheap value. It allows me to add these 4 big names with it. I get Mahomes to pair with Watkins. I get Kelce to pair with Mahomes and Watkins. I get Tom Brady, and I get Mike Evans for basically everything that Nick said. And what I needed to do to round that lineup out is I had to throw Ronald Jones in at a ridiculous $2,200, right? So I understand Leonard Fournette's going to get the bulk of the share because he's earned it in the playoff games. The last playoff game, Ronald Jones broke a huge run down the sideline against Green Bay. all I need him to do is break a huge run against KC, and it be a touchdown, and that's way worth $2,200. And I think I got maybe $100 left over. So if you tell me Sammy Watkins is hurt, then my lineup is I'll make a second lineup like Nick. But right now, that has been entered into a couple leagues. So you guys can jump on that if you want.
Sir?
All right, so at captain, I went with Leonard Fournette at 11.7K. Figured I went a little cheaper on the captaincy so I could fit some big names in. As you said, Fournette's been getting the main share of the carries on that team. At flex, I went with Mahomes at 12K. He's Patrick Mahomes. I went Tyreek Hill at 10.4K. At last time, he killed them boys. Probably gonna be more of the same. Also went McCall Hardman at 56K or 5,600. I also went Cameron Brate at 4,800. Gronk's been staying in the block, and they've been just throwing it to Brate, so he's been getting the work. And to finish it off, I went Darrell Williams. Excuse me, Darrell was at 5,200, just because hopefully they get close and maybe they'll get him a little goal line work or something. So, and he was cheap, so why not?
I think it's fair. I did look at Cameron Brate. I was close on him. I know the last time they played, I believe it was 4 for 38. And again, the only reason I know that, or I know I'm very close to what the number was, is because I really almost pulled the trigger on Cameron Brate for the same reasons that you mentioned already. So, guys, we've told you our picks. We've told you our over-unders. We've told you our DFS Captain Showdown lineups. We got one thing left, and that's our prop picks. So, these, to me, I'll speak for myself, are, I hate to say subject to change, but a lot can happen in a few days. This is what I like right now. And I did add, so first I'll go with anytime scores. You're going to hear a lot of double names, so I'm not going to get into why I picked them unless it's a name we haven't mentioned already. And I also added whether it's the first touchdown or any touchdown, because if you're extra ballsy and you want a little bit more spice, you want to bet these guys for a first touchdown in the game versus just an anytime, it's up to you to do so. But Sammy Watkins, first and foremost, I just have a feeling the man's going to score. 2 years ago, I was all over Sony Michel. First touchdown scored. He ended up hitting. Last year, I was big on Kyle Juszczyk to just score. He ended up hitting. I would say my dark horse / guy that's maybe not the conventional wisdom answer is Sammy Watkins. I just have a feeling he is going to score. So you could bet I'll have some money on him now. Anytime plus 260. First touchdown of the game plus $2,000. So, you want to bet $25 on that? Win $500 on a $25 bet. So that's a home run right there. Mike Evans, preferred red zone target. Anytime plus 110. First touchdown plus 900. An old man, Lenny Fournette, who has a one touchdown in every single playoff game so far this year, either rushing or receiving. First touchdown of the game, 1050. Anytime touchdown, plus 120. I kind of like the Watkins and Fournette combo, plus 750, which you can do on DraftKings. I got a 6-player prop parlay. This is what I like right now. Kelsey over 98.5 receiving. Mike Evans anytime scores. Sammy Watkins over 36.5 receiving yards. Mike Evans over 63.5 receiving yards. Give me Patty Mahomes. I know his turf toe is near 100%. He missed the over on rushing last year in the Super Bowl in terrible bad beat fashion, kneeling the ball for a combined total of, I think, 14 or something yards to take him out of it. He ended up missing it by half a yard. I'm taking the under. Yeah. I'm taking him under 19.5 rushing yards this game. Don't think he needs to run the ball. And the rushers on Tampa Bay's defense scare the hell out of me. But I will take his over on 329.5 passing yards. It's hard to talk me out of betting any under outside of rushing on anything Patrick Mahomes is doing in this game, given what we've already seen so far. It's just playing the odds when it comes to that. But those are my prop bets that I like. Again, on Super Bowl Sunday, I'll throw out everything I like. We'll on the True Exact Radio or on the SBFS show Twitter handle, We'll retweet Sirs if he has any changes. We'll retweet Tim's if he has any changes. I got nothing more when it comes to the Super Bowl. I'll take it to Tim. Any prop bets you like, Tim?
Yeah, I got a laundry list, but I'll just I'll post them all on Twitch or on Twitter rather. I'll just go real quick with the good ones, right? Not novelty props. Tails never fails. Final play QB Neal -200, and then Tails was -103. They're basically the same. Actual props, Nick, same exact ones as you. I like Watkins +260 and +2,000 as the first one to score, and the combo of Evans and Kelsey to score +250. I think it's kind of that's probably my favorite bet. I love Leonard Fournette over 48.5 rushing yards at -118, and I love Sammy Watkins at over 36.5, -112, as long as he's healthy. And the last one I'll tell you here is Tyreek Hill to be the longest reception is +150. I think there's really only one person that's going to give him a chance, and that's his own teammate. So I'll go with Tyreek Hill on that one.
Sir, before you make your picks, just some late-breaking rumors when it comes to the world of the NFL. It looks like Derek Carr is on the trade block for the Raiders, given what Matthew Stafford gave the Detroit Lions. In their haul, it looks like Derek Carr is on the trade block. Do either one of you want Derek Carr as your quarterback?
No. I want one person as my quarterback, and it's not
Sam Darnold.
Carson Wentz. Sir, what do you got in your props?
All right, as I said before, I'm gonna start off with Tails. You know, I said Tails is 5-1 in the last 6 Super Bowls. You know, give me the Tails, and also a couple props. I like the team with the longest touchdown. I went with KC at -143. They're a big play offense. Like whereas more Tampa Bay's more like not dink and dunk, but like Nelia. KC was go over the top. Jersey number of the first touchdown scored. I went with under 224.5 at -103. The only way that bet kills you is if Gronk, Brait, or Kelsey kill you. Otherwise, like you said, Watkins going to score first. Bet. Then that means that bet will hit beautifully. I like Fournette over receiving yards at 25.5 and over 3.5 receptions. I think he's just going to have he's going to do some work out of the backfield. I like the Tyreek bets over 92.5 receiving yards. I guess past 2 games this postseason, he went 9 for 172 and 8 for 110, and you know what he did against Tampa last time. So 92.5 should be an easy win. Also, players with the players' longest reception. I took McCole Hardman over 14.5 yards for his longest reception. Tyreek Hill over 27.5, and Kelsey over 25.5. I like all 3 of them. Those numbers aren't that big, and I like give me all 3 of them. And and also I'll throw a couple donkeys on a Super Bowl MVP. I do like Tyreek Hill at +1,200, and maybe Kelsey at +1,300. Also, if you think Tampa Bay's going to win the game, put a little bet on Tom Brady, because if Tampa wins, he's getting the MVP at +210.
How about the Devin White pick by Malusis?
Yeah, no, that's solid.
It would take an otherworldly game for a defensive player to get the MVP with these 2 quarterbacks. I'll just say that. It's going to take multiple takeaways or multiple forced fumbles and a defense.
A low score game.
Off the top of either one of your heads, do you know the last defensive player to win MVP?
No.
If I tell you it was the Super Bowl between, well, sir, you want to take a guess?
It was a Patriot, right? Was it?
No, if I tell you Panthers Broncos, what would you say?
Oh yeah, all right. What's that brother's name? I do know you're talking about.
Begins with a V.
I forget his name, but I can see, but I forget his name though. But I do.
Von
Miller. Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking of somebody else, but
no, Von Miller absolutely destroyed. You were probably thinking of that.
Yeah, no, I was thinking of another.
God bless you. From The
Yeah.
Denver tight end.
Alberto.
We'll see you.
Yo, Alberto, man. That's,
Nick,
yo,
real
respect to Alberto.
quick, did either of you guys write down your Super Bowl mystery boosts from DraftKings? I just want to touch on this before I roll the big time challenge. But real quick, I had Tyreek score the first touchdown at plus 750. I have Brady as Super Bowl MVP at plus 250. I have Edwards-Helaire most rushing yards at plus 470. I have 20% extra boost to my bet, whether I take over or under 2.5 players throwing a completion in the game.
Oh, completed pass. All right.
Right. So, I mean,
Yeah, like so a trick play. Basically, you need a trick play to happen and them to complete it.
either a trick play happens and they complete the pass, or there's no trick plays and only Mahomes and Brady.
Yeah, and Brady throw. Yeah.
I don't remember everyone I have. I know I have Mike Evans' first touchdown, and I know I have Tom Brady Super Bowl MVP. I'll say this: if you're a new user, I can win you $50 right now, because for new users, if it's still there on DraftKings, all you have to do is bet $50 to double up. New users only. If one touchdown by either team is scored in the game. So unless the game is only field goals and safeties, which it will not be, there will be a touchdown in the game. You will win $50. So a $50 bet will give you 100 total dollars plus 50. Right then and there, you're $50 up on your Super Bowl. Now you could turn that $50 and do multiple prop bets. You could bet some of the bets we've made. You could do whatever you want to do. But take a look at the mystery boosts, take a look at the odds boosts, take a look at the first-time user bets, take a look at our pool that we're doing. That's free, where you can win a True Exact Radio hat and shirt. I got no more promoing to do. I'm good. Tim, take it away.
Yeah, just listen. If you guys haven't signed up for DraftKings yet, please have somebody refer you. You get an extra $100 free bet. I know Latch was nice enough that when he could finally sign up, he gave me a free bet. I'm going to use that free bet on Kansas City -3. I'm going to put the bet in as soon as we get off the podcast. So root for Kansas City to win by 3 if you like me. If not, like Charisse, it is what it is. Real quick, thanks everyone who's still with us on Twitch. I'm going to roll the wheel of names. We'll see who wins a $25 free bet. I'll switch over right now.
As he's switching over one more time, Sal Licata, Marc Malusis, thank you so much for jumping on. It was really fun to have you. We ran super long this week, but it's the Super Bowl. Next week we'll be back to an hour of something, but appreciate them for jumping on. Appreciate you guys who have watched us from week 1 of the NFL. We'll continue to do this. We'll continue to have some fun. We'll continue to win you guys some money, and that's it.
It was well worth the wait. Let's see who we got as the time winner. No, heel turn. Sorry, Ed. If you came to the Rumble, you might have won. Logan, you get another chance, brother. Super Bowl. Let me know what you want to bet. Real quick before we end the show, right? Before we end the show, we're going to give a shout out to Mr. True Exact Scott for giving us this platform to host. And he recently came out with a new song, which we're going to play for you to end the show. Nick, you can give the spiel on the way out, and after you're done, I'll play the song and that stuff. But we have a great time doing it. Hope you guys enjoy watching.
Can I do it now?
You do it now, man.
Hello and welcome to No, I'm just kidding. Thanks, guys. Thanks for everything. Good luck in the Super Bowl. Let us know if you hit. Let us know if you hit on one of our bets. Have some fun. That's all I got.
Good look in your boxes, too.
Nick, why doesn't it say record anymore?
It does.
I know. All right. We're out of here.
Trust, you'll be on a rocket ride to the moon. Just to make it, gotta sacrifice. I'm sleeping through the night, I'm in my sky rocket. Visions in the clouds, you will never bring us down. I will entertain the sound in my sky rocket. Listen to me now, listen to this crowd. We will never be here now. Flame on the head and I might go out the switches, kick with an ice cream truck. Put it down, rap so nice, so clean. Turn this bitch to a psycho scene. Awake in the dark and the night, no dreams. Into the path and the right those schemes. Full of ideas that like old things. If I'm hiring team, they like those games. They like one of the fire. Every time I close, no more flashes, Nike shorts. Thinking I'm so from a fighting force, I fight the force with a lighting torch. Y'all ain't petty on mice, of course. Gas can't pull you up like a port. Not from the hood, but I'm tough to rap. To the whole new spine like a muppet back. And up I'm up and back. AC Jones when I'm swinging dope. Flow to the belt like Drake boat. Feel like a sergeant winter snow. So comfortable, go up he goes. No luck to those who grind all night. I ain't never looking for a line my life. So why not right to the time I die? Yeah. The mic and I is line all light. Endless love. Frozen it up, one step up. Can't be a hazard if you never was. Now sky rockets in flight. Gotta shoot for the stars. If we miss them, it's alright. Sky rockets in flight. So sleeping through the night, I'm in my sky rocket. Visions in the clouds, you will never bring us down. I will entertain the sound in my sky rocket. Listen to me now, if you listen to the crowd, we will never be here now. Skyrocket, got the gas up in my tank. I will have some goodies, images for challenges and flames. Catches damage when I eat. No parachute fatality. Kamikaze rappers while I'm tearing through this gravity. A hair on through the canopy. I'm weapon Dixon, close a draw. You stay with the butane while y'all rushing with the Molotovs. Powered out the chronic dog, you ballin' like Masada Falls. Flashlights on my wrist, they never pick it up if drama calls. Head up in the clouds, never worry about it. I'm a cruising supersonic with the comments right where I belong. Waiting on my moment, but it's clear my fucking time is drawn closer like my orbit. Got me soon doing Andromeda. Better step it up a notch. Force it back and fucking watch. Homie, it's my time. I'm going check your fucking clock. Too many just be talking shit, not feeling enough to walk with it. It's confidence, not cockiness, but honestly, I'm fucking shit. Rockets in flight. Gotta shoot for the stars. If you listen, it's alright. Sky rockets in flight. Just to make it, gotta sacrifice a second.
Sir. Smile for us, sir. One time. Hit us with a smile, sir. Yeah, one more chance, sir.
Listen to me now, listen to the crowd, we will never be here now.
All right.
That inspired
Thank you,
me.
guys.
I'm going to bust one rhyme in honor of Scott in that song, and then we're done. Sharp bets, winning cash, had Moose and Licata on the Super Bowl bash. Sorry one more time for going long, but here goes Sir with the Jeffersons theme song.
I got us. I got us.